All right, I did a video yesterday about the Oakland A's and how it is a disaster there in terms of the ballpark, the team, the ownership, everything. Well, there was an article that came out and talked about Reggie Jackson. As you know, Reggie played for the Oakland A's and he played for the Yankees, the Orioles, the Angels. Uh, but so he knows Oakland pretty well. As you know, he played there when he was a younger player. Went back there at the end of his career, and he's a Hall of Famer, a champion, and he won 5 World Series as a player. 3 with the Oakland A's. He's with those legendary A's teams of the '70s. They just celebrated the 50th anniversary of the '73 A's when the Mets were in town. Now they only got, interestingly enough, 20,000 people in that ballpark on Sunday when they honored that team. Now I know it was 50 years ago. Some of the players have passed away. Sal Bando, the legendary third baseman, he passed away, but the players are still alive. The prominent ones are still alive for the most part, and they were at this. But what's interesting is they only got 20,000 people into that ballpark, and the article sort of mentioned how the ballpark's infested with possums. Also found out that it's infested with stray cats. It seems like the city does not care about this team. It doesn't seem like you feel like the fans care. It doesn't seem, from my perspective, here in New York. Here in New York, it doesn't seem like the fans care in that city for the A's. It seems like the area is more about the Giants because obviously the Giants have won recently. But even before that, there was nobody going to these games. The ballpark is ugly. It was retrofitted to include the Raiders there. That's a disaster. If you watch this on TV and they show the entire ballpark from behind home plate, it looks terrible. There's all these empty seats, and all you see are these empty rows of seats, and they covered it with these tarps with the retired numbers, which is so cheesy. At Citi Field, we have these placards up on the side of the ballpark. It shows the numbers. It shows the championships. But there is a tarp. They show them on a tarp. Yankee Stadium has the monuments out in the outfield. Monument Park is out there. Even in the 40s and 50s and 60s, they had these monuments on the field. But with the A's, and this has been a franchise has been around since for 140, 150 years, and they've been around since the beginning of the American League. It is disgusting how they've done that there. It's so cheap, so cheesy. John Fisher, who was the owner of the A's, is worth $2.4 billion. You'd think he would be able to find a way to put some of the money into the ballpark to help the fans out, to create a better experience for them. He just doesn't want to do it. It's like he can't wait to leave. Well, why did you buy the team in 2005 and not do anything with the ballpark for all that time? It seems like some of these guys, that's why they hate Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, so much, is because he's willing to spend a lot of money, not only on the team, but on the ballpark. He made renovations this offseason that really they didn't need to make. They put in a bigger scoreboard. They changed right field. It took them the whole offseason to fix right field. They moved it in 8 feet. They did all kinds of stuff to improve the ballpark. And the ballpark, that Citi Field does not need to be improved upon, other than in the original version of the ballpark where it was just too deep for the players to hit the ball out of the ballpark. The ballpark is about as perfect a situation as you can get for the fans. And you see no improvements from Oakland. You see no improvements by the ownership there. The Angels had a ballpark very similar to them, and they've done all kinds of renovations to the ballpark in Anaheim. You see what they've done in Kansas City. Kansas City, the way it looked years ago, was very different than what it looks like now. Very much an old cookie-cutter ballpark, but they've done a lot of stuff in their outfield to where they can bring in more seats and have more of a fan experience. There's no fan experience there. So why would you want to go there if ownership shows they don't care? And then every time the team gets good, you trade it for young players. How can you ever have any connection between the fans and the players? It's just, and then people make excuses and they keep going at the say. Well, there comes a point you got to say, well, ownership should either sell or do something to show that they care about the team, care about the fans there. But Reggie, mentioned that it's tough to. He says they're going to move because it's very difficult to win there with 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 fans sitting in the ballpark. They said with 10,000 people in the ballpark last year on average. I highly doubt that. Like I said, there was only 20,000 there on Sunday because of that place should have been filled. I mean, that was a big team, but they didn't do it. Ultimately, the A's will move. Eventually, in about 10 years, the A's will be out of there. They'll either be in, probably most likely Las Vegas to join the Raiders, or Nashville, but probably most likely Las Vegas because it's all sort of there, all on the West Coast. But it's it's just a bad situation there. And at some point, they got to just sort of get the hell out of Dodge, like I said in the previous video. But let me know what you think about this video. Please subscribe to Baseball Hut 2. Thank you, and I'll see you later.